Well, welcome YouTube. This is my suburban orchard I've been working on here. First we did the avocados, then the cherry trees, then the blueberries. Actually, I think I started with the blueberries. Now we're on to exotic plums, pluots, apriums, nectar plums, you name it, we've got it. This is the newest addition to the suburban orchard we've got going on here. So I'm going to walk you through each one of these things and keep an eye on the channel, and maybe you decide what you want to get in a year or so. These things ought to be going, and we'll do a taste test. Welcome aboard. Alright guys, this is my new spring project. I've got a whole bunch of cherry trees. I bought tons of bare roots at a nursery, and I probably have, like most people, more money than time. So I have invented this. A towel in the bottom of a big tub, a little bit of water in it, and then I cover it with another wet towel, and then I kind of grab some things like my old dog pad and some dry towels to kind of keep that humidity in here. I've been doing that for about 3 days while I've been ripping out the stumps and working the area. I wasn't planning on doing this. It was like a last minute drive by the nursery. Holy cow, I could buy a $100 tree for $30 bare root. So I bought like 14 bare roots. I got like 7 or 8 pluots, and I got like 6 cherries. So I have my work cut out for me this spring, that's for sure. So today I'm tackling the pluots and the nectarcots, or apricot nectarine cross, whatever they call those. I don't remember. The names are so goofy I have a hard time. And then I'm gonna basically put this down. It's a damp towel. I'm gonna lay another wet towel on top of it, and I have to hold these roots for another day. But they seem to be doing okay. I mean, they have like a little budwood. They're starting to wake up, so I got to get moving here. So these still have the sawdust. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to separate them out, wash the sawdust off, clean them up, look for broken roots, any kind of weird disease or anything growing. Like this is a sucker root right here, so it's going to come off. So I'm just going to clean up the roots, soak them, and put a little bit of B1 and maybe a couple of drops of Super Thrive in there, mix it up, and I'm going to let them sit in there for a few hours, totally immersed, while I go out there and start digging the holes and planting them out. So, okay, stay with me guys. Huge spring project here. Unplanned project. But I've got, anyways, I'm into this about $350, but my God, the variety of stuff I'm going to be planting is going to be crazy. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay guys, if anybody doesn't know, the best way to get a bunch of tree stumps out of the ground is with some heavy chain, some cleats, some eyelets, and something with a positive traction rear end for Chevy. Ford calls it traction lock, and I don't know what Chevrolet calls it. I'm sorry, Chrysler calls it. But anyways, it worked awesome. This guy, there happened to be a tow truck driver driving by, was the only one I couldn't get out was the big sucker here. He hooked a winch on it and zoop, pulled it out in about 2 seconds. I'm doing burnouts and bouncing and hopping. You can see some of it right here. Little burnout mark. Anyways, works awesome for getting these things out. Took me about 40 minutes, ripped out like 6 of those nasty bushes. Some of them are over there too. All right, now we get to start plopping in our pluots. Okay guys, full day's work here, and I'm finishing up now for posterity. I'm going to make this video for myself a little bit too. I miscounted, so for some reason I got confused. I got 2 extra holes planned in here, so I'm going to have to go buy even more of these things, because if I dug the hole, damn it, I'm putting something in it. And some new plants to go in these last 2 holes that we kind of overdug. They were all about like this. And this guy's a peach tree on the end. I'm kind of really debating about that. They say you kind of really shorten the life of a peach tree by clipping it, but I don't want to have a giant peach tree. So anyways, this is my next project, plum and pluot paradise. There's like 11 different kinds of plums and pluots over there. But this will wrap up my cherry tree, guys. Everybody's got to make their own decision on this, but I'm not going to be afraid of yield. I'm going to have tons and tons of cherries, so I'm going to cut them down, lose a harvest, and then hopefully have a manageable tree in the future is what I'm shooting for. Okay, YouTube, this is my plum, pluot, blueberry, and regular I don't know, plum cherry. I guess that'd be the blueberry. Anyways, I got a whole bunch of different stuff going on here. It's my little plum and genetic diversity orchard. And I'm just going to basically walk through, and I trimmed some of these guys, like this guy, like I did with the cherry tree. And I wanted to make sure that they bounced back. I left 2 of them back here as I've been trying to make up my mind what to do. This guy is an elephant heart, and it's the same as that one, which has just gone crazy, exploding on that one branch. So they're highly vigorous, so I wanted to make sure these guys were going and they were alive. And the peach tree is having a hard time deciding, this is a peach right here, what to do with it, whether I ought to cut it or just let it go. And I heard that if you cut it, you kind of shorten the life, reduce production, but I don't really want to have a big peach tree right outside the front door, so I'm going to trim this down. I'm willing to lose some production. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the cherries over there, cut them about 18-20 inches off the ground. So anyways, let's go through the varieties here. And this is a Snow Beauty white peach. Rootstock is Citation Citation. And here's what you want to read about it on the back. That way you can read all these things. This is an elephant heart, which is supposed to be absolutely delicious. Just about everything is on Citation except for the very last 2 things. The only thing about elephant heart that was developed by Burbank, and it's supposed to be absolutely delicious, but they don't travel and pack well, so everybody loved them, but the packing houses wouldn't carry them back in the old days. Oddly enough, the people with the packing houses and the farmers always made room for 1 or 2 in their own orchards because they tasted that good. Oh, this was, yeah, that's my Dapple Dandy. And then this is supposed to be absolutely delicious. It's my Flavor King. So I actually bought 2 elephant hearts because I couldn't really decide on an extra thing, and they're supposed to be absolutely delicious as well. And I was afraid this is an older strain. That was developed by like Luther Burbank in like the, I don't know, 20s or 30s or something like that. And I've heard of them and I've never seen one, so I thought these are made by Zager. I'll be able to pick these up just about any time I want, but I might never be able to find another elephant heart, so I can always kind of graft onto it. That is my Flavor Punch Blueberry. And down here, this is a Flavor Grenade Pluot. This was at the very end. You'll see an empty hole. I did have this right there, but it was just too far out. It looked really weird, so I dug it up and I just moved it inside here. And then this guy is a Weeping Santa Rosa Plum right here. And this is on a Miro 29C rootstock. Okay, sorry guys, I had to cut out. There was a motorcycle that went by, it was a little loud, but this guy is actually a Weeping Santa Rosa. And there's the description for you. And this is on a Miro 29C rootstock. This and this guy right here, my Spice Z, are the only things that I planted over here that do not have Citation rootstock. And this is a Spice Z Nectaplum. And that's this guy right here on the very end. So I'm gonna do some clips and I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. But they should all be more or less about looking like that, or the Flavor Grenade right there. They have all been clipped and pruned about 18-20 inches off, all trimmed back to the center kind of trunk, I guess, if you will. So the only one that I left going a little bit was this guy, because it had 2 nice branches, and we're thinking about building a fence which would be right about here. So I'm going to give this guy a little bit of a good jump start to get himself going. So that's the only exception other than this one, which is a weeping Santa Rosa, because it looked really stupid to have a weeping Santa Rosa cut down that low. But it was originally like, you know, way up here, like 10 feet tall, but it had no tree limbs up until all the way up to the very, very top. So it would have just been a stick with a little puff ball on the top looking kind of dumb. You gotta remember, guys, these were bare roots. They had these little teeny roots. They can't support all that. So I cut the canopies way down, and the rootstocks are just taking off, and you're getting something like this. That was a complete bare stick, and just like within 2 weeks it did that. So we're starting to heat up, and I'm going to give everything here a really good watering so that the sap can heal up the cuts, and they can recover over into the cool of the night. And in another week or two, when they start puffing out like this, I'll probably whitewash the southwest face of them. And the alfalfa is basically just kind of holds in the moisture. I've got some beneficial fertilizer organisms, bacteria kind of stuff going on under there. And it just kind of helps with the transplant phase, first year in, I guess. And over here, we used to have a lot of grass, and I'm trying to get rid of some mowing is the reason.